Good morning, everyone. I'm Anshuman Mishra, and I'm going to be a sergeant at arms for the club today. The mission of a Toastmasters club is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self confidence and personal growth. To ensure this, please follow certain ground rules. Please ensure that all your secondary devices are on switched off or silent mode. You have 10 seconds to check. Please speak responsibly about religion, sex, or politics in your speeches. Use the feature of raising a hand, applause, and thumbs up when needed. Don't use Zoom messaging in between the speeches until it's required. Until not required, please put yourself on mute during the meeting. One of us will let you know if you're audible or not, and if your sound is coming or breaking. Please make sure that all the role players have the role name as prefix to and real name as suffix to the username of the meeting. You have 10 seconds to check and implement if missed. Now I'd like to hand over the stage to someone who's donning two hats today, that of a presiding officer and the Toastmaster today. He's someone who's really passionate about Toastmasters and someone who inspires with his leadership at such, I'd albeit say such a young age, but some say he's like too mature for his age. And someone who I keep on getting inspired from and learning from day to day. I'd like to hand over the stage to Toastmaster Sanskar to take it away. Over to you, Toastmaster Sanskar.
Anshuman is too modest today. Well, okay, so I'll be your presiding officer for the day today. As Bright Beginnings Toastmasters Club, we look to inspire people and have guests joining us today. For the past 7 to 8 years, we have been doing this uh, communication thing for all of us to get their skills up, to get their skills enhanced and soon be a leader to follow. So, I would like to talk to our guest today, if we have today, anyways. Toastmaster Satyaket, what are you looking forward to today?
So I have been pretty consistent in the meetings, so I'm very much aligned. I mean, aware of what I'm looking forward to. But yeah, continuing with the learning and the impromptu speaking skills, and again, spontaneously taking up roles, something that is always inspired. That's something that's always been inspiring about Toastmasters. Yeah, that's about it.
Thank you. So, today's session is all about that mindset, about inspiration. People who don't turn to humor turn to inspire. So, be ready to be inspired and dazzled because today's TMOD session is all about that mindset. So, back to TMOD. Hi, Sanskar.
Toastmaster,
Right, sorry.
Toastmaster Sanskar, a point of order. We also have Toastmaster Yashika joining. Would like to.
Oh, soon to be Toastmaster Yashika. What are you looking forward to today?
You're on mute,
Yash-
Toastmaster Yashika.
Oh, no issues. Can you type in the chat, please? What are you looking forward to today? Okay. Thank you so much for joining, Ashika. We are now going to start with our session today, which is all about that mindset. People who face struggles, people who are facing their hustles with career, education, or business. Everyone faces struggles in life, but it is who turned their life upside down that is that mindset, the comeback mindset today. People who don't have humor turn to inspire. So today, be ready to inspire because I don't have any humorous topic today for you all. And with that, let me share my story. Recently, I gave an exam which I couldn't pass, and it was very heartbreaking for me because I'm really starting with my career now, and certification just becomes your thing. I couldn't clear that exam, and in that time, I thought of myself that okay, look, maybe let's try looking at the positives and not the struggle. I did my best today. I did my all to clear that exam, and whatever I could, well, whatever the result be, I will keep continuing. I will keep continuing to do that and be my best. So everyone faces struggles. Even contest we couldn't qualify for. But we shall look at the challenges. We should retrospect what we did and we shall come and achieve that tomorrow. So with that, I am ready to ask some questions with our guests and Toastmasters today on whatever struggles they face. So, Toastmaster, soon to be Toastmaster Yakshika, are you with us? Your mic is fixed? Okay, no problem. Toastmaster Anshuman, shall we set the energy with you today?
Yeah, of course. Happy to chat
So,
with you, Dr. Sanskar.
so please share some story with the comeback mindset. Anything you face, struggle with, or something you are facing currently as well.
Hmm. Struggles are part and parcel of life. I think a life without struggle is like a ship without the winds and currents in life. I think life without struggle is quite boring. So having struggles is important. So struggles can be manufactured, or struggles do come in the journey of life in general. Um, so I wouldn't say it is a struggle, but say when I became a parent last year. I think it was a huge milestone and something I wasn't prepared for. So to adapt my routine to ensure that I'm a better or good father, and to adapt to like his daily needs, I think I'll say it is a. I won't say it's a struggle, but it is something I do keep on aspiring to become better incrementally. Um, and the nature of struggle is to anticipate what's the requirement and how to be on top of it. I think that is the heart of the struggle. And then there's struggles in, say, corporate life and Toastmasters. For example, the membership challenge that Gaurav Bhai has given to all of us, that's a club struggle. But struggles is what inspires me and us, right? Without any struggle, we'll become complacent, we'll lax down, and that requires leadership too, from someone who's more experienced or someone who can guide. And over to you, Toastmaster Sanskar.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anshuman. You had your set of challenges, and oh, Toastmaster Gaurav wants to have a go. Please,
Hi,
Toastmaster Gaurav.
hi. Good morning, everyone. Actually, this morning I was just reading one story of Vaibhav Suryavanshi, and this I would like to share the struggle of his father. Uh, Actually, his father went to Mumbai along with his during around eight when he was 18 or 19, and he wanted to become an actor and cricketer, but he failed, and he did a job on the shipyard as well. Then finally he returned back to Bihar, And after Vaibhav Suryavanshi, this he started playing along with Vaibhav Suryavanshi, and when Vaibhav was around 6 to 7 years old, then Vaibhav Suryavanshi and his father used to go to one place in Jharkhand, and it was around 200 kilometers. And every day they used to go to that place for practice of Vaibhav Suryavanshi. And now you can see the result. And this is the best example of a struggle. If you will not struggle, then you will not get anything. If you want to achieve something, then you will have to struggle in your life. Yeah, over to you, Sanskar.
Very well said, both of you, Toastmaster Anshuman and Toastmaster Gaurav. I would like to appreciate them for speaking. With that, we look forward from Toastmaster Satyakate and Toastmaster Ashutosh as well for speaking. Toastmaster Satyakate, would you like to please share?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the essence of it. Anything that's worthwhile, that's the struggle behind that. So not only, I mean, it's entirely what you value, and so specifically, I remember there was a time when I was struggling with my studies back then during my entrance exam days, and then eventually uh, you find out some I mean, as you delve into it, as you give more hours into it, then you understand that what's wrong and what's right. Then eventually that struggle that translates to according to your role and according to how your life has transformed. For example, today my struggle will be focusing and also prioritizing the right things both professionally and personally. And more than that, currently it's more professionally that we know what needs to be prioritized. So that is in today's time, we're so much overwhelmed with A information on social media and also on AI that the struggle comes up with the processing of what needs to be processed. Okay, so retaining and looking at the right information and focusing on the right thing. So my struggle has been on that, and ensuring that I'm focusing on the right set of skills and right set of uh, things that I need to do for my career, particularly. So that's about it.
Also facing the same issue as well. Toastmaster Ashutosh,
Yes,
yeah,
Toastmaster Sanskar.
please share your story as well.
Yes, so Sanskar, I would describe the struggle as stepping out of your comfort zone. Even the topmost person in his professional ability or wherever he may be keeps on struggling, but struggling for striving something better every day. And the people who are devastated, who don't have anything, they enjoy their life without any effort or anything. So it's not that struggle is somebody who's in a bad situation. Everybody struggles and struggles for good in life. So in my case, Sanskar, there had been a challenge to continue my uh, you know mm, uh, continue my routine as an few additional activities which I choose to step out of my comfort zone for my extended learning, like joining the Toastmasters club meetings and few other activities like being regular in some of the fitness regime. So over the last 1.5 years had been very struggling for me in terms of getting extendedly occupied in the work. Even yesterday night I was traveling and I reached back home at around 3 in the night. But then the struggle which I have right now is to continue what I started for or restarted. Firstly, in the joining the Toastmasters meeting, and also yeah, for the purpose getting back to the fitness regime before this extended regime of this one. I used to be regular doing some kind of activity, either yoga or workout, at least 6 days in a week. But then it I'm trying to restart that. So that's it from my side, Sanskar. So struggle is to aspire out of comfort zone and be better, as already mentioned by Toastmaster Anshman.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashutosh. So these all stories sum up one thing and one thing only, that if we don't struggle, we aren't humans. We are, so basically we are all humans because we struggle. It is the imperfection of these things which make the comeback mindset. Uh, and again, as Toastmaster Anshuman told, our life would be complacent if we weren't struggling. So that is the exact thing. I joined Toastmasters because I struggled with my communication, which I'm still facing right now. I have a lot of anxiety, and I make my set of grammar mistakes and fluency mistakes, which I do. So this was my motivation to join Toastmasters, really. So with that, I would ask Toastmaster Akansha to share as well after the table topics because we have been using a lot of time now. So with that, we'd like to now move on with our general evaluator Toastmaster Anshuman to set us the roles.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Sanskar. At the heart of any great Toastmasters meeting is evaluation, getting feedback on how we performed in the meeting and how we can learn from the role that we played, and utilize it for the next time. To do that, I'm not alone in this journey as a general evaluator. I have a mini team per se, starting with Toastmaster Satyaket, who's going to be the language evaluator for today morning, uh, which composes of both the accounter and the grammarian role. Like to hand over the stage to him to introduce his role.
Thanks, Toastmaster Anshuman, for inviting me over and giving me the opportunity to explain what the role is. The role of a language evaluator is to look for your the usage, good usage of words, and also how everyone or each one of us is using filler words. For example, I sometimes use. So you have to look at what your crutch words are, such that you speak flawlessly. As a part of that, and also in order to enhance your vocabulary and also uh, uh, articulate your thoughts more accurately, we also introduce the word of the day that we encourage everyone to use. For today, the word of the day is indomitable. Indomitable. The word of the day is indomitable. It means that impossible to subdue, defeat, or discourage. Having an unconquerable spirit. So, an example, despite facing numerous professional setbacks, her indomitable spirit allowed her to uh, engineer a brilliant career comeback. So I encourage again all of you to use the word of the day, and rather more than that, believe while you're using it. So with that, I hand over the stage, virtual podium to Toastmaster Anjuman.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Satyaket, for your indomitable spirit to take up the language evaluator role. We look forward to your report at the end of the meeting. And I'll also be playing the timer report in lieu of Tosma Minakshi, who will be joining us in a few minutes. As a timer, I'll ensure that all the roles that we are playing are within the scope time, which includes 5 to 7 minutes for a prepared speech, where I'll be sharing the green card at 5 minutes, yellow card at 6 minutes, and a red card at 7 minutes. We do have a special level 5 speech today, which Toastmaster Gaurav, if you could confirm the time limit for that with 10 minutes, is it?
Yeah, no, timing is I think 15 to 20 minutes or
15 to
15
20.
minutes. Yeah.
Sure. So we'll take green card at 15 minutes, a yellow card at 17.5 minutes, and red card at 20 minutes. And if there was an icebreaker, that would have been 4 to 6 minutes with green card at 4 minutes, uh, yellow card at 5 minutes, and the red card at 6 minutes. And the evaluations will be respectively green card at 2 minutes, sorry, 3 minutes, yellow card at 4 minutes, and red card at 6 minutes, 5 minutes rather. I look forward to a productive meeting. And last but not least, we also have table topic section where we get 2 minutes to speak with green card at 1 minutes, yellow card at 1.5 minutes, and red card at 2 minutes. All of us are experienced Toastmasters, so we already know the time scenario. All the best for today's meeting. I look forward to sharing the report at the end of the meeting along with the team. Back to you, Toastmaster Day, Toastmaster Sanskar.
Well, with that, Toastmaster Anshuman, I have to introduce our speakers.
Yes, of course, but we can
Right.
start with you, Toastmaster Gaurav, if you're okay, because Toastmaster Meenakshi may take um, few minutes to dial in.
Okay. So, not wasting any time, let's just get into the crux of the meeting. Toastmaster Gaurav, our inspiring and area director of Toastmasters Club,
District
will
Director.
district director of Toastmasters Club is going to share a speech with us today, about 20 minutes long, right?
Yeah, it's a panel discussion.
It's a panel discussion. Okay, okay. So I'd like to now give the stage to Toastmaster Gaurav.
Yeah, thank
Yes,
you very much, Toastmaster Sanskar. Yes, Toastmaster Asutos.
okay, I thought to introduce your speech, but you can continue, no problem.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Toastmaster Sanskar and Toastmaster Asutos. Okay. First of all, thank you everyone for giving me this opportunity for conducting the panel discussion on one of the important topic, and that is very close to my heart. I hope this topic we are using in our everyday life, irrespective of our location, whether it's in our personal life, professional life, or in our home. Before starting this panel discussion, I would like to introduce our today's panelists for this important session. And this panel discussion topic is ethics. And first, I would like to introduce our first panelist, Toastmaster Ansuman. He is having 12 years of professional experience, and currently he's working in Google. And he's the backbone of our Bright Beginning Toastmasters Club. And he's a member since beginning of this club, and one of the most sincere, diligent, and hardworking member I have seen in my journey. Please spotlight to Toastmaster Ansuman. And our second panelist is Akansha. She is our division champion, and she is the star of Bright Beginning Toastmasters Club. And she represented our club on area level, division level, and district level this year. And nowadays, everyone knows Bright Beginning Toastmasters Club just because of Akansha. And she is an excellent orator. And I'm hoping that next year she will represent our club on this World Championship of Public Speaking in USA. Now, I would like to introduce our third panelist. And third panelist is Jessica Suri. I hope Jessica,
Yes, she's
yeah,
Yeah,
spotlight.
our third panelist is Jessica Suri, and she is working in Ernest and Young as a L&D person, and she is national level shooting player, and she is a veteran Toastmaster, and she already served as a division director for Delhi Geography 3 years back, and she is one of my ideal and mentor. Uh, Now coming to our fourth panelist. Fourth panelist is Meenakshi Gautam, and recently she joined our Toastmasters club, and she's a wonderful orator. She studied science, but she chose to dedicate her life to what truly matters for human being and authentic living. She is a recognized speaker, coach, and award winner. She empowers persons with practical tools for inner transformation. Welcome, everyone. Please spotlight all these panelists.
Already did Toastmaster Gaurav.
Do we have Meenakshi as well?
I
Okay,
think she'll
okay,
be
okay.
joining in a bit. Maybe she can dial in for the second.
No problem. Till that time, we can continue. Uh, okay, today I have chosen the topic ethics, and I already told that is close to my heart, and I try to follow these ethics in all of my activities. This ethics refers to the moral principles and values that guides our behavior, our decision making skills, and this ethics tells us what is wrong and what is right. In a simple word, Ethics help us to decide how to act fairly, honestly, and responsibly. And I would like to give 5 examples of ethics for honesty, respect, responsibility, fairness, and integrity. Okay, first, I would like to take one example for honesty. For example, the shopkeeper have given this 100 rupees. You want to purchase any good of 20 rupees, and you gave to that shopkeeper 50 rupees. And in return, this shopkeeper has given 100 rupees. Then, if you are keeping that amount in your pocket, then it is unethical. And if we are returning that amount to shopkeeper, then it shows the ethics. Now coming to respect. For example, if you are this teacher, or you are the headmaster, and you are just taking all your students equally, then it shows the respect for everyone. I think if you are treating all the students regardless of their this caste, religion, or their this education level, then it shows the respect for everyone. And now coming to responsibility. For example, you are the student, and you are completing your work on time, then it shows the responsibility. And you are accepting your mistake, then it shows the responsibility. Now coming to fairness. For example, if you are a manager in a company, and you are giving equal opportunity to your employees, then it shows the fairness, and that is also the quality of ethics. Now coming to integrity. For example, you are the president, or uh, you are an employee of any organization, and you are doing the right thing even no one is watching. That represent the integrity. Now we will start this panel discussion, and I will ask simple questions from my panelists. Okay, first we will start with the Toastmaster Ansuman. Toastmaster Ansuman, I just want to ask, what is the meaning of ethics for you?
For me, if human behavior was not defined by some principles, framework, or rules, we would have gone amok. Like in the past years, when we see the tribes operating without any governing rules, the chance of everyone's survival was minimal. The probability of me even lasting a week might be pretty less. So, to define how people should behave so that it's to the benefit of everyone, eventually, say the three greats of West or the greats of East, Aristotle, Socrates, Plato, two are great sages, defined a set of rules which ensured that if I operate in that manner and others behave in that manner, the probability of our succeeding, surviving might be high, which include, as you mentioned, rules of fairness, of equality, of justice, and the ethical framework. And to me, ethics is following certain rules which are aligned to humanity, are aligned to goodness, are aligned to treating each other fairly.
Yes, this following the rules and regulations are very important, even if no one is watching. And same we can follow in our this personal life and professional life as well. And we can take the example of office. For example, any day our this manager is not coming, and we are doing our work without if no one is there, but still we are doing our work on time with proper perfection, and that shows the ethics in our work. And now moving to the second panelist, I want to ask a question from Akansha. Can you share a situation where you had to make a ethical decision in your journey in personal, professional, or in your home, where you took one ethical decision?
Um, so I'll share a very simple one, the one which you also gave an example about. But before that, what ethics means to me Ethics to me does not mean following any rules or guidelines. Ethics for me is not hurting someone. That is where I draw the line. It's about being human, understanding humans. And because if we talk about following rules, it could also be that, you were supposed to do something, but you didn't do it. For example, office work. I was supposed to complete it by 10 p.m. I didn't do it. But at some point, how I will judge that situation is that if I do it by 12, I know I'm supposed to, but even if I do it by 12, I'm not hurting anybody. Nobody is losing anything. I might get a few minutes to talk to my friends. So, and ethics is always about a gray area also. Things are not black and white. There's another thing which is
Yes.
empathy. It's the power of judgment that you are supposed to have, whether you're able to make the right judgment or not. And talking about being ethical, so I remember when I was really very little, this one incident has stuck with me, and promoted me to stay ethical, at least in the monetary terms. So I was in class 7th, and we had just gotten used to the principle of getting money from mom and taking it to school, then buying chips, kurkure. It was very new. Earlier, it was like whatever mom would pack in the tiffin, we'd only get that. So it's just grown up in senior school. So I went to the shopkeeper, and I had 100 rupee note, and I gave him that something that I bought patties, I bought a chips, I bought a 20 rupee cold drink, so I bought a good amount of stuff, and then he gave me some extra change. So the next day I went back and I told him that uncle ji, you gave me extra. So he was like, "Pata nahi, kuch to somebody is saying." So okay, there's a lot of rush, and
Yes.
then he stopped, he looked back, and he's like, "Oh, you're returning the money to me, you're not asking for something." So that incident that really stuck with me, because the way he looked at me at that point of time, I was very little, just getting to know people, and he just put his hand on my head and he's like, "Very good, beta." So the when he did that with a lot of love, and he was a very grown up uncle, he was in his 70s or his 80s. So at that point of time, I was like, okay, this really felt good. So that is one act that I did when I was very little.
Yeah, thank you, Akansha, for sharing this story. Now, moving to our third panelist, Jessica, as you are from this E&Y and you are working in L&D team, how can organization encourage their employees to do ethical behavior or to take ethical decisions?
Thank you for this question. So I believe that, like when I'm looking around, even I'm working on many of the contracts when it comes to vendor arrangements during my events at external venue. So sometimes there is a possibility that we have last minute changes in the contracts, and we have seniors who might be traveling. So to follow everything in ethical order, to ensure that all the contracting agreements are being done in time and are being within the uh, you can say like not, no, it's not getting changed or it's not being getting tempered. So sometimes I have to follow, ensure all of those that the PDFs are not being revised without the knowledge of the seniors, just in case, because one word tweak can change the whole meaning of the contract. Because I'm more involved in invoicing processes and contracting with the hotel vendor. So here I need to ensure that whatever the communication we discuss with the hotel vendor, even if it's delayed, maybe on the date of the venue or date of the event, I try to ensure that I am following all the rules so that my company or the person who is involved with us is not getting into a legal trouble for making any changes. Last minute changes could be possible that my headcount might have changed at the last day. So even if I request to the hotels, we put everything in black and white over the communication on the May 1st, and so that it's been aligned, and we change the documents later maybe,
Yeah.
because we have to ensure that whichever billing entity will be used we will be using. So I cannot temper or change any of those modes. I have to ensure that the entity is aligned. I have to ensure the contracting is done for the number of mg that's going to be present. So sometimes we have to help the hotels also, and sometimes we have to look after, of course we have to look after the organization first, That's why we exist.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Jessica. We all can understand that this ethics are very important in our professional life as well, and we also follow these ethical behaviors. We also have our fourth panelist, Toastmaster Meenakshi. Can we also spotlight Meenakshi? Hi, Meenakshi. Okay, my next question is for Meenakshi. Is honesty always the best policy? Why and why not?
Yes, I believe honesty is always the best policy because how do you earn trust from people? Every business or every relationship is all about how much do you trust the person. And there are levels of trust. How much do you trust a person? It doesn't become a blind trust in the very first meeting. So the more honest and more direct you are in approaching a person, that whether can you do it or not, or open and honesty about anything, it will help you earn trust effortlessly. And when you earn trust, it's easier to get yes from people.
Yes. I think for me also this honesty is. I think we all should be honest in our any of the work which we are doing, and honesty is the best policy. And we all should follow this honesty in our in daily life and in our personal, professional, everywhere. We should be honest with all the tasks. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you,
And I
Meenakshi.
think if
Now,
we are not being honest, it also layers the truth behind some sort of uh, some sort of layer, and we can never know the truth if we are not being honest. For example, there are some marketing strategies that some companies use, and later in research we find out about 20, 30 years later that that research was subjective. So, people now have trust issues with all the research that we have. So if
yes.
people in the first place have been honest that this is subjective, or this is for set of people, or this is just our opinion, this is not a scientific fact, I think people nowadays don't trust a lot of information on internet because of the same reason.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Meenakshi, for sharing insights about the honesty. And now, moving to Toastmaster Ansuman. Toastmaster Ansuman, I just want to ask one question. Have you ever faced pressure to compromise your values in your uh, personal, professional, and in your home?
Especially dealing with bureaucracy. When, for example, when I was purchasing my home, or even to smaller things like when I was in my college, which was part of X university, even getting smaller things done, there were some trade-offs being asked for, and that did not make me feel good about the situation. I took my calls of how to navigate those situations, but I think system has its gaps, system has its flaws of uh, asking an individual to compromise on personal values for personal benefit, of the benefit of the decision maker, the one who has the power. One is a principal stance one can take, but usually that's a long term journey. That you take a stance, get the things done the right way, but it may take a long while. But you'll have peace. One has peace of mind during that journey. One can compromise, maybe sneak in a few bucks and get things done. That short term may not result into any consequences, but the ethical aspect of it is debatable. I think it's quite individual.
Yes,
Ideal is to stick to one stance, take a long term
yes.
journey, and not compromise.
Yeah, actually, in our daily life, for example, if you are in leadership position, then you will face such a problems. I know I am facing such a problem on this not daily basis, but on weekly basis. I am just receiving such a request, and sometimes what I do, I accept these requests, but I see, are we hampering anyone? We should not create problem for others. Uh, I'm
Ethics, of
just
course.
following the win-win situation for everyone, because these type of things, I think it's very difficult to control these type of things, and we all face such type of problems in our daily life. Yeah, thank you
It's
very
okay.
much,
Toastmaster
Toastmaster
Gaurav,
and so on.
I'll quickly like to add like for 30 seconds something additional because you triggered something. Like being part of the district teams and other teams, I realized I think you as leaders, your core job is conflict management. And I thought it is about skills, it was project management, was getting things done. But the amount of fights I saw every day, like between clubs, between district officers, between I think yours and like majority is conflict management with ethics, which is interesting. But even at club level, once I faced a dilemma where two groups got formed, both were at loggerheads, and I was the president of that club. And I read the entire Toastmasters manual first to understand what the Toastmaster rules are, then introspected that do I even want to be a president managing these two conflicting groups? Then I think I consulted you, all the leaders, to figure out an ethical strategy around it. So the like I just want to make it real that the questions you're asking, especially at your level, it might be real. Maybe at our level it may not be real right now, but as once evolves at the leadership ladder, it just becomes about ethics, about just conflict management. I think your core role, I can imagine, might just be conflict management. But I just want to call out to
Yes.
this entire group that these questions are pretty real and make you introspect as you get into the heart of uh, intense battles.
Yes. Yes, Meenakshi.
So I remember an incident. I was traveling to Gurgaon, I remember, for some Toastmaster meeting. And I was driving with a friend of mine, a neighbor of mine. And it's a very good example of how you are asked to compromise your value if you are in a management position. So this guy is a manager, and one of his person who works within her team, she got an offer to switch in a better company, and she was getting a package that this company cannot offer, the current company cannot offer. But a manager has entire onus of retaining the employee, and if somebody leaves, this comes on manager. So the upper management told him that do not let her leave because of two reasons. One, she is doing really good business. She was on some client dealings and she's already trained. She has got an expertise. Second, if she leaves, then the cost of hiring another employee, training, and getting her that expertise as at the level she is, the company will have to incur loss. So what they told her, told him that we cannot give her a hike that she's getting, but we at the same time we want you to retain her. So this guy
Yes.
was under pressure that I don't want to lie to her. I know I have made a switch and it has worked wonders for me. How can I tell her to stay with the company? So that's where I told him that tell her the truth. Tell her the truth that
Yes.
that's what the company wants me to do. And
Yes.
when you stay in longer term with a company, I think a comfort zone comes in where you can experiment with different roles. Sell her that. If that you stay with the company, the trust levels, the promotion scope, working with different areas, and let her make the choice. So sometimes people do face these difficult choices with that whether to favor the employee because she is also young. She is also looking towards a brighter future for herself. And in case the manager is lying to her or just trying to compromise values, deep inside you feel like I am not doing a good role as a human. So, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, trust is very important. Now, moving forward to the next panelists, I just want to ask one question from Toastmaster Akansha. If you are seeing someone doing unethically in the work, then what you will do? If someone is doing not doing and someone is violating the this ethics, then what you will do in workplace?
So I personally am a very chill person. And I am not somebody who follows the rules to the T and, dots the I's and also I will evaluate the impact of the work that, like, what harm does it bring? Does it impact at the whole team? Will the freshers who've joined, will they look up to him and start doing something similar? Will it become a culture eventually? For example, if somebody is late one day, right, at somebody's reaching office at 4 o'clock, and my manager asks whether he's on the floor, I'll be like, yeah, yeah, he's there, he's just around, he's in the washroom. But let's suppose if somebody is doing something wrong, getting work done by somebody else, harassing a junior employee or something like that, then I will immediately take an action on that. So it depends on the impact that particular action has.
Yeah. Thank you, Akansha, for sharing. And now moving to the next panelist, and it's Toastmaster Jessica. Toastmaster Jessica, what advice would you give to the future leaders about ethical decision making?
Sometimes we will be, in between the two worlds where we know that, like Akanksha mentioned, that could be a possibility that the impact of that particular incident is going to have within the organization. There is a possibility that, like, if I talk about not just organization, even if I talk about the red light, sometimes it happens that we all know that at red light we should stop, at green light we all need to move, right? But most of the time what happens is, if no one is around watching us and if we are in hurry, if we need to be somewhere, we generally happen to cross it if we know there is no particular impact that's going to be there. But if the ticket comes, because the cameras are around, we know that we are held responsible. So, just for the leaders, I would suggest that everyone needs to ensure that whatever you are helping out, could be possible that somebody senior to you is expecting something, unreasonable, might be. And the same thing from, if you connect with the junior or the bottom line, you understand that there are a lot of mitigators involved and you need to ensure they are not getting hampered, they are not doing overtime, they are not mentally stressed. So you try to reason out why we need to extend the deadline and why you need to work a little extra. Not, I'm not expecting you to work 12 hours, but at least if needed, maybe over the weekend, once a week you can actually work a little bit more than the other quarters. So I might try to bridge the gap between the two worlds. And
Yes,
I
thank you.
believe we all as a leader need to do.
Yes. Thank you, Jessica, for sharing. And now moving to the next panelist and last question to Meenakshi. Meenakshi, what is ethics for you? What is the meaning of ethics for Meenakshi Gautam?
So for me, ethics is performing or being in a role to the best possible as you can, following all the rules and not causing any breach to the defined rules that they have, especially if it can cause loss to the company or it can damage their reputation or anything like that. And what I believe that ethics for company as well as for your own personal values, they are equally important, because something that you might feel is ethical for the company, but you think that no, it's not for you, then also you should step up and convey this to the team that this doesn't lie with my values. Because what I have seen,
Yes,
a lot of people take this call that they work with companies who are associated with something that they do not align with themselves. And when they are facing these choices under pressure, either they make wrong choices and then go into stress and guilt, or when they have to say no, they cannot, because they think
yes,
that they owe loyalty to the company. So what I feel that whenever you're looking for a job, you do write your resume and they ask you what is your vision. Have that for yourself. Have your top three
yes,
values. What are you looking from the organization that you're going to serve? If these values align, then it's a match. Not
yes.
We do understand that a good paycheck is one of the values that you're looking for, but that's not the only thing. Do align what your
Yes.
values are.
Yes, thank you, Toastmaster Meenakshi, for sharing your views for ethics. Uh, Dear members, ethics is very important, and we all should follow these ethics in our school, workplace, business, leadership, and every day in our life because it builds trust and good relationships with the other members in society and in our office as well. Ethics means doing right thing when no one is watching as well. This honesty, responsibility, integrity, and fairness, these all values of ethics, and we all should implement these values in our in our life. Yeah, thank you everyone. Over to you, Toastmaster Sanskar.
Um, so thank you, Toastmaster Gaurav, to share the panel meeting with us. Uh, Without any further ado, I would like to say only one thing about my last remainder of the speech. Uh, people only remember, People don't remember the history, people remember the future. So, cheers to the future. And one last story, if Toastmaster Kansha is willing to share with us.
Uh, Toastmaster Sanskar, maybe we can do it after the speech by Toastmaster
Sure,
Meenakshi,
sure.
just in the interest of time.
Yeah. So, with that, I would like to now hand it over to Toastmaster Kansha for the table topics. Toastmaster Kansha.
We have a speech by Toastmaster Meenakshi.
Oh, so sorry. Toastmaster Meenakshi, you are up.
You'd like to invite Toastmaster Kansha as the evaluator for Toastmaster Meenakshi.
Toastmaster Akanksha, please, I hand you over the stage. Apologies.
No, no, you did invite me just for the wrong role. So, hello everyone. I am Toastmaster Kansha, and Toastmaster Meenakshi will be delivering her speech today. Now, we are not really sure about what pathway, what level it is, but I'm sure, like always, she will do an excellent job. And I, as her evaluator, will be evaluating her on the general parameters of public speaking, which would be the content, stage movement, eye contact, and everything else. So, all the best, Toastmaster Meenakshi.
Yeah, I did not tell much about my speech. So I want to share three stories. One is a humor, and the rest two stories are part of my main keynote speech. So I'm just trying and testing these three stories, how I can add these into my speech. So that's
Is
pretty
there
much
any special parameter you'd like for me to keep an eye out on for?
just the message if it lands right, and if the humor lands right, and the message that I connect with the story, if that lands right. And of course, if people understand it, both the story and the message.
Okay. Could you share your speech title?
There is no title, it's just three stories that I'm sharing.
Okay, there's no title. Okay, so Toastmaster Meenakshi, all the best. All the best, Toastmaster Meenakshi.
How many of you are dog lovers? How many of you are cat lovers? How many of you are both? How many of you are neither? Great, thank you. Good to see that a lot of people love dogs and cats. What I believe that dog is an animal who's loyal, who's faithful, and who once choose their owner will be treating his owner like a god, that his entire life is just that one single owner. Cat, on the other hand, once you find a cat, first of all, your cat has to choose you. If you choose a dog, what you do, you go to a dog store or you go to your friend's place, you like a dog, you don't ask the dog that whether you want to go to my home or not, but you just pick it up and the dog also accepts you. But the cat is different. You cannot just pick the cat and take her home. She will run away. So the cat has to select you first. And have you ever wondered that the word dog is so much misused as a swear word that now dog owners do not even use it to address their dogs anymore? They are like, okay, you keep it. You use it for your profanity and swear word usage. We can call our dog something else. But have you seen people calling someone a cat? Despite that, people consider cat very selfish, very moody, very shrewd, who uses you for her own benefit. Why do you think that's the case? Because cat has earned her own respects. She sets boundaries. She's independent. She loves you for your presence, not because you're feeding her. She knows that if you are there, yes, her food requirements are getting managed, but she can independently feed herself. She can hunt. And on the other hand, dog depends on you for everything, for its emotional needs, for food, for everything almost. So where am I going with this? That yes, dog is a lovely animal. It's beautiful to have a companion like a dog, but don't be a pushover. If you see that people are trying to breach your boundaries, be a cat. Stay independent, stay in your power, let people love you for your presence. And people might call you selfish, people might call you that you are using them when it's convenient for you, but it doesn't matter, because it doesn't matter for Kat as well. She continues to live her life happily. So this was about the dog and cat story. Why I'm sharing this with you, because this is a very recent realization that I had. Being a dog owner for almost 30 years, one cat just barged into my house with her 2 kittens, a stray cat. She did not ask me whether I am inviting her in. She's like, I like this human selected, let's go. Like we do with dogs, that this dog I like, let's take her home. So stay in your power. Whenever you feel like somebody's trying to breach your boundaries, that's perfectly fine. Some people might see you as selfish person, but that's all right. So there's another story that I want to share with you. I had a really expensive handbag, and since I was not using it, the do you know what is the pull tag? Pull tag is a part of a zipper that you hold and just pull the zip up and down. So that pull tag was broken. And one day, I heard a guy, a vendor, a local vendor who go home to home and provide services about repairing the zipper. And I heard saying zip repair, something like that. And I went running to my mom and I asked her, is there a guy who can repair this for me? And she said, yes. And I asked my mom that I have a bag which has a non-functional zipper. Can he stitch another to it? And my mom said, no. I said, why not? Doesn't he has a business which he utilizes to repair the zipper? My mom said, yes, but he specifically changed the zipper tag only, the pull tag only. And I was like, is his entire business just to repair this pull tag? My mom said, yes, that's it. And I asked my mom that, how long has he been doing this for? Said almost 5 years, as long as I have been seeing him. And he visits only on Tuesdays. And this hit me really hard. That one skill that he has mastered, for which he shows up consistently, His entire business is built on this skill. I, on the other hand, is looking for how I can upskill, what book I can read, what course I can take to become a better coach, to become a better speaker. And this guy, this fellow taught me you don't need any more information. You just need one unique skill. And that's it. That's your entire business for the rest of your life. So, what's that one pull tag that you have in yourself that you can monetize for the rest of your life? Think about it. So, thank you very much. I think I am about time. The last story is longest. I won't be able to finish.
Such lovely stories being told by Toastmaster Nakshi. It is always something about your stories I always like is there's always a lesson behind everything. So thank you, Toastmaster Meenakshi, for sharing your thoughts. That with the interest of time, we'd like to now move on to table topics. Toastmaster Kansha, you're up. Toastmaster Kansha.
Yes, Mr. Sanskar. So I hope I'm audible.
Yes, so my
Yeah.
concept. In the interest of time, we can do table topics primarily just for the guests, which
Yes.
I'm presuming it's Satyakit, um,
And
Yashika,
yeah. So who'd like
and
to go
followed by
first?
the like non-role players.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think Yashika can take up the first because I'll be taking up the language evaluator anyways, so she can take up the first, then I'll go ahead.
Okay. So soon to be Toastmaster Yashika. Let me I know that you're a returning member, but just to give a heads up, this is a table topics section, and you have to speak on the topic for 1 to 2 minutes. Toastmaster Anshuman would be showing the timing. The green card will go up at 1, at 1:30 the yellow card, and at 2 the red card, and you can go until 2:30. So let's start with the topic. Toastmaster Yashika. Is it better to fail miserably at something new or succeed easily at something you already know? Is it better to fail miserably at something new or succeed easily at something you already know? Toastmaster Yashika.
Hi, am I audible? I personally believe it's better to fail miserably because it's coming from the experience because I have failed. I have been part of the Byju's for an year, and repetitively, that one thing that came was you're not good at this, you're not doing great, you need to work on that. And when I look back now, after 1 year of working there, I never thought that where I will end up. And I end up with one of the big fours, which was never on the card. I never thought that I'm going to work with any of the big fours. For me, it was like I had the mindset, let's work for a startup because you will get to learn. Because if I want to start any of my own business, I would be getting all the knowledge because startup makes you work on not just one. Your grind will be, in many, many little aspects. And you can pick your choice that where you want to create your expertise. And failing and Byju's, I believe the organization itself has failed in some of the aspect that going up to bankruptcy and but it has given a lot. If you succeed easily, you feel confident, but then you don't understand the repercussions of not getting through in some of the aspects. So I personally believe that even if you fail, you will learn 10 more things about what you need to be aware of. Otherwise, you are just following an SOP or maybe some, one of the aspect that, yeah, it's working out for me. This is how you are learning. But what if someday you don't get to follow that one step out of those 10, then you will feel that if I could have failed, earlier I was aware of such mishappenings and you could have done something better. That's it. Thank you. Over to Toastmaster Kanksha.
Thank you for that, Yashika. Very well put. It's always better to learn something while you're trying to grow. So, very well put. Next up, Toastmaster Satiket. Would you like to go next? Okay. So, Toastmaster Satiket, if you could rewrite one past failure in your life, would you? Or would you keep it exactly as it happened? If you could rewrite one past failure in your life, would you? Or would you like to keep it exactly as it happened, Toastmaster Satiket?
So that's the thing that's common amongst all of us. We all want to avoid mistakes as much as possible, just like our managers want us to avoid our mistakes as well, right? But uh, some, I would say, most of the mistakes teach us some of the lessons, and some are hard. Some lessons are something that's great as if you learn as early as possible. So one past mistake that I would like to keep, I think I would keep most of the mistakes. One that I'd like to keep is uh, the point where I could not clear my entrance exams. It was back then when I was preparing for my college, basically for engineering, and essentially what it's been a long time. However, what it taught is that uh, it taught the idea of perseverance even before understanding the meaning of it, the real meaning of it, because once you value that. You know this is your priority. I mean, these are your values that you need to work on so many subjects. You need to read so many subjects, and you need to read out so many topics. And once you give the entrance exam, you may or may not have that in college that you intend to go forward with. So that was the biggest failure when I could not get into the right college in my first round of applications. However, when I focused on studying on the right set of topics and improving my skills in maths, in quant, in basically in your science and all, so that eventually added up, building up or rather honed up my skills to be a more proficient analytical person. So the point being, some mistakes that you feel uh, does not add up to your result essentially helps you build that skill that you might lead up in your later life. For example, today, even now, after having that long gap from studies, I still am feeling very perseverant, or rather at ease while I'm working with tough quant problems and analytical situations at my job. This is something that some of the past failures that I would like to have and hold on to, because that teaches you life lessons, not just skills. Over to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Satiket. Very well put again. And in the interest of time, we will not be having any more table topics. So I'll hand it over back to Toastmaster Sanskar, the team word of the day, to take the session forward.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kansha. I would love to have a table topic, but then again, with the interest of time, I'd like to move forward with the remainder of the meeting. I'd like to now bring over Toastmaster Anshuman to share his evaluation.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Sanskar. Before that, we won't let Toastmaster Kancha away without sharing some words of wisdom from her district experience.
Of
That's once
course.
in a year or once in a lifetime experience for us many. So, Toastmaster Kancha, I know you try to escape, but we won't let you go that easily because we want all of us to be on the district stage one time or the another. And you're the first district participant of a club. So we'd love to know from your experience of how the entire journey was. We'll just take 10 minutes. And what can you share with all of us, including myself, to inspire us to be on the district stage. Before even we move on to that, like to start with a bit of rapid fire. I don't know if you're ready for it, but so what is your ultimate pre-match? Pre-match means pre-speech pump-up song.
This
You're on
might
mute. Yeah.
sound okay.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah. We can hear you. Yes.
Okay, I was really not prepared for this, but there is a song that I really listen to, Kacha Ghada. And anytime when I'm down or something, when I feel like okay, something big is at stake, or if I'm not doing well, down in the dumps, that is the song I repeat to myself. I'll share the lines. It goes like, Kacha ghada हूँ मैं, uh, बूंदे बेरहम है, इनको ये सहम है कि मैं कांप रहा हूँ, कि मैं टूट रहा हूँ, बट मैं आज भी खड़ा हूँ. So that is the whole gist of the song, that you're a pot which is not made yet, and you can be molded anyhow you want. So just keep going no matter what problem or pressure comes to you. And I'd recommend everybody to listen to that song once if you like deep, beautiful songs.
Beautiful, beautiful. That is quite sounds like a quite an inspiring song. What is your public speaking superpower? Flawless vocal variety or master of the dramatic pause?
Of course, vocal variety. I would say pauses is something that I believe I haven't truly mastered yet, but I have come a great way from where I was. And maybe, I don't know whether you guys are able to gauge it or not, but at least I feel the way I'm answering right now, also, I'm going a little slower than what I used to, the pace than at which I used to speak earlier. So, obviously, it's vocal variety.
Great. So, what is your absolute worst, most embarrassing habit when practicing a speech at home?
In practicing at home, am I go full drama queen mode. Even if I make one mistake, I'll forget, and I'll be like, oh God, I'll throw the pillow around. How did this happen? And then I'll be like, God, start from the beginning. So that is one thing, and I panic a lot. It's a part of my process to panic before going on the stage, so that I let out all that nervous energy.
Um, Write, memorize, or improvise? Which part of the process gives you the biggest headache?
Right.
And why?
I've it's very personal. I believe I've been a little afraid. I've always felt that content is something that I need to work on. And coming up with stories, I feel that you need to live a certain amount of life, or you need to have a very in-depth look about life to write the stories that work on the district stage. And the reason that I was very disheartened this time was like, oh God, now I have to bring out another story from my life. Right? I'm not married yet. I don't have kids. I haven't even gone to office for so long that I'm in leadership positions that I can, I've never been in such positions, touch wood, thankfully. Very, very grateful for that. But it's a stories that speak to everybody on a larger scale, that would relate to because the audience that we have now, it's from college students to people who are 60, 70, 80 plus. Toastmaster Deepak was also there. So it's very difficult to find out something that would appeal to everybody in the audience and nobody would feel left out.
Great. And the last one before we deep dive into your journey, who's your ultimate public speaking idol, living or dead?
Um, Public speaking idol. Okay, it's very weird for me to not have one at such particular, but I would say that at least Dhananjay for now. That one speech, I know Toastmaster Anshuman that you do not definitely resonate with me, but I know that he has a very different opinion. But I think at least for this thing, I really like his style of speaking, and at least that one speech, I see something in you that was really nice. So Dhananjay for now.
Yeah, there are a lot of Dhananjay fans. Definitely, after your district speech, I went back and listened to him again. I still, still am not a Dhananjay camp. Wish one day become. That's why I'm not on the district stage, right? So you're a. That's why you're a district participant. So now coming to your journey, right? So from moving from a small club environment to a massive district stage, it can be unnerving, right? So how did you scale up your vocal variety, body language, your speech to ensure that the last row feels the same energy as the first row? So what is your mindset from a club speech transition to a district speech, the entire journey?
So I guess at every stage, yeah, we keep the antes kept getting up. It's like the stakes were higher. Club speech, it was fairly easier, I would say, area as well. But at division is when it started getting real. That okay, the competition is really, really very tough now. And district, of course, it was. But um, it was more about the message, I believe, the content that matured the most, at least for my journey, more than the vocal variety or any other aspect. And of course, pauses, we'll get to that. But from the content point of view, I felt like that till area level and division level, not even having a great content but delivering it flawlessly is maybe what worked out for me. And at district level, content obviously plays a great role. Like at that level, everything needs to be perfect. And pauses, yes. So a few misses here and there in terms of the basics of the public speaking and being on the stage: eye contact, hand gestures, stage movement, pauses, rushing, word rate, all of that. It's okay if things go here and there at the till area level or club level, but from division level, it's not allowed at all. So it's like you can start off by, like just get comfortable, is what I would say. That at least till area level, get comfortable with yourself on the stage, with your script, with your content, because you'll probably be keeping it same for the next level. At least I kept it same. So if you're doing that, just get comfortable with the content, with audience. Like club level was very difficult or different also, in the sense that it was online, so it wasn't very very, like it was like something we are very accustomed to. But area, all I had to focus on was, not shivering, because I was facing a live audience after a very long time. I was like 40, 50 people were there at area level. So facing that live audience and, getting back to talking to them, maintaining that eye contact from the stage, it was a little challenging at area level. At division level, it became a little easier, but the audience also grew a little bit. By the time district came, I had already practiced twice. I had seen a few people, a few faces, practice in certain clubs, offline clubs. So I was very used to it by then. So in the beginning, just get comfortable with yourself, your content, and facing the audience. That's very, very important, because no matter how well you've prepared, one wrong facial expression from an audience member, one person who starts using the phone, answering a call, and you'll be off your game. So you need to be prepared to stay in that zone no matter what is happening in the audience or with the audience.
Beautiful. And a segue to that is, I felt you handle the pressure quite well through the entire journey, especially on the district stage. So, what was your mantra for besides Kacha Kacha Ghana song?
Tada.
Kacha Gada, sorry, Kacha Gada song. Because as you mentioned, the caliber of the speakers grew from each stage to the finals. You had to face the best of the best. So, how did you see that you don't face imposter syndrome or you get jitters? So, what was your entire getting the right space to deliver mantra?
So I guess you played a big role in that. And a lot of people around me, they kept reminding me that it's not about the competition at one point. It's just about going there, giving your best. Now, me being me, I don't know whether you guys have noticed, I'm a little different. I have a different way of thinking in certain sense. So I always feel like that I always used to take competition as a competition. And this was the first time I walked into it thinking that, okay, it's not about competition, it's just about because everybody has put in their hard work. It's not just me. There were a lot of people, those eight pleb people have flown in from Nepal, and everybody's giving their hard work. So it's at the end of the day, it's also about whether it's your day or not. Like I've been in the placements journey also in college, so I always feel that such high stakes where you are preparing for something, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey that people feel. I always used to disagree to that. I was like, it's always about the destination, man. Come on. And how I've described this journey also was like Game of Thrones happened with me. The whole season was amazing. There are dragons, there's scalpel, and everything is amazing. Area done, division done, district I'm getting, and then in the finals, the results didn't go that well. So Game of Thrones happened with me. But it's important to just remind yourself and keep yourself surrounded with people who keep reminding you that it's what you're in it for. And just to remind yourself also that it's not just about one competition one day, or one result doesn't define us. It was the whole journey, all the learnings. And now I believe after this district competition, I'm one of those people who really do believe in the statement that it's about the journey and not about the destination. So keep reminding yourself that, and surround yourself with people who do appreciate you for everything that you are beyond that one stage and that one competition.
Thanks a lot. And I think you covered the part of uh, how one, so the margins between winning and losing at the district level are pretty razor thin. So if the trophy doesn't go one way, then how do you define success? I think I've already mentioned about that. But we would like to leave the audience with a parting thought, that how should one take this competition? How should one take the journey? And what should be one's mindset to approach an international speech contest?
So I'll keep it very simple. Just go for it. No matter what you feel, at what stage you are, you might feel that you're not that great a speaker, or you're not at a certain level to compete with people, but the the difference that you will see in yourself, you'll be proud of that, no matter who you're competing against, who you're going up against. And one more thing that I didn't touch about on is again, mm, the people that you surround yourself with, the mentors that you reach out to. So I'll take a few moments to speak on that. Now, there's this one speech about four aces, and I know quickly on my speech itself, I wrote it down that four aces. So my four aces who helped me through this journey and were Toastmaster Anshuman, there's Toastmaster Aditya, then there's Toastmaster Roli, and of course Toastmaster Sanskriti and Toastmaster Johnson. I'm putting them together, but everybody was a master of something different, and everybody helped me with something else. Toastmaster Anshuman, he was like this rock solid spine throughout the journey, from the club level till the district level. I took him as my audience, like he kept giving me the feedback, what will work, what will not work, and the story and the whole speech, it matured a lot because of him. And Toastmaster Roli, she helped me a lot only for the content, like I wouldn't say only for the content, but majorly for the content. She also had great suggestions about hand movement, how to land a certain words in the speech. Then Toastmaster Adit also, content, I believe everybody did. He also helped me with the content and the stage placement, right? And how to place yourself, how to look at it, and how to go about the different stages, like Lucknow on the right, and Bangalore on the left, all of that. And after that, Toastmaster Johnson, he gave me the view for the international audience, like because him being from Nepal, even Sanskriti fell into that bucket. How to how will you, like, how to keep your message generic for them, what's working, what's not working, because we have a certain way of speaking, something that somebody who has seen me speak from a very long time, they might be able to relate to that, but somebody who's speaking me here for the first time, what is their feedback, whether they're able to relate to the Indianness and the message or not. So that was there. And the ace of all aces, of course, was Toastmaster Gaurav. Uh, Toastmaster Gaurav was the one who connected me to all of these aces. Okay, so he is the super ace here. Like, what is that? Which is the strongest hearts, Ikka, or whatever it is, the strongest ace. It was Toastmaster Gaurav who connected me with everybody. So I would say that embark on that journey, no matter what thoughts are holding you back. Ace of Spade. Thank you, Meenakshi, for that. So Toastmaster Gaurav was the ace of spade for me in that, who helped me connect with everybody and, mature so much about a lot of aspects. And I feel like where I came from, I have grown immensely. I have grown immensely as a speaker, and I'm more confident about going on that stage the next time, because I have grown, I have learned so much, and I know that I have such great people who are supporting me. And when you're down, right, like in this journey, there were a lot of times where I almost gave up. I was like, I cannot do it. I don't have a story. Till the last 3 days, we were deliberating whether to go with the new version or to bring back the scalpel. And so there was a lot of confusion, a lot of chances that we had to take, like, just go with that or go with this. But I would say just go for it. Live yourself. I had an absolutely amazing time. Those 3 days, I felt like I mean, the warrior who walked into Bangalore, the what I say in my speech, I actually felt like a warrior, and I had an amazing time on the stage. Being back on the stage, so many people listening to you, and when you see those people react, the energy that you get, it's just automatic. You want to give your best, and that is what defines this whole journey for me, and that is what this whole journey has been about, just to be back on that stage and speak to so many people. And all of these people who are listening to you, right? You'll be surprised that at district, nobody was distracted. Not one audience member. They were all listening to me, and they were given beautiful reactions. Some people had a smile when they had to be shocked. They were shocked, and that made me live more in the moment. So do not hold yourself back for any reason to embark on this journey, no matter till what stage it is. Because I'm thinking that, I also saw Toastmaster Rupinder, and there are so many people who are so senior to us, they've been 15, 20 years in Toastmasters. So I believe that is just a starting point for all of us. Like, for me, the journey has actually just begun. And this was the first chapter, and I'm looking forward to write many more in my life in Toastmasters.
Beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, our district competitor, division champion, a final, not just a final, hopefully much more applauses in the future. I bring to you Toastmaster Akansha. Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Akansha, for inspiring us, for taking that journey, and hopefully shaping up a world champion in the future from Brightwing Toastmasters Club. But you are the first in Bribing Toastmasters. How many? 7, 8 years of journey. You're the first district participant. I think that is something that nobody can take away from you. So thank you for inspiring us and being there as a champ. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Sanskar.
And uh, again, in the interest of time, I would like to now call on Mr. Anshuman because to give his evaluation.
Yeah, I think in the interest of time is a very pertinent theme, Toastmaster Sanskar, for you today. But we're going to sync up on your teamwork journey. But you're managing it beautifully in your own way. All right, coming to the evaluation stage, I'd like to first invite the speech evaluators to share their evaluation report, starting with Toastmaster Akansha, back again to share the evaluation for Toastmaster Meenakshi. Over to you, Toastmaster Akansha.
Um, Thank you, Toastmaster Anshuman. So, Toastmaster Dakshi, like always, you had a great and engaging beginning where you started off by asking a question: how many of you are cat people? How many of you are dog people? And like always, it has worked out. How it worked out great is that, the audience is engaged. They're now listening to you because they feel like they're part of your speech. So they're more engaged, like when you talk about dog, cat, or any such thing, when you throw a question at the audience, they'll start thinking about that, and now they want to listen to, okay, I have my pet, I've thought of my pet, whatever it is, be it a dog, cat, mouse, parrot, and now I want to listen to how does it relate to me. But you had, again, I'll talk about the things that really worked out well. You had a great beginning, you had great pauses, you had great the basics of the public speaking, eye contact, expressions, voice modulation, that was all checked off. So great job, kudos on that. Now coming to the main things that you wanted the evaluation to happen on, which was the message and the humor. So we'll cover it story wise. Talking of the first story, uh, the message, it did land well. That dogs versus cat, dogs are a pushover, cats are the queens who live in their own world, and don't be like a dog, don't be a pushover. But what I felt here, two points, that two suggestions that I have. Number one would be that towards the ending, it felt like you had already summarized the story, but then you began to speak more about it, where you said that, again, you went to expand the message that don't be a pushover like a dog, and you went on to explain it. So my suggestion would be that you tighten the ending at least a little bit, modify it, so that you have only one ending and it does not seem like it's ended and then you continue speaking about it. Because as an audience member, I have already closed that tab in my brain now. Now when you tell me to reopen it, because I was prepared for the story number two, but then I had to reopen it, so there was a little bit of disconnect there. And the second suggestion, it could be my personal opinion. So because you have to give it on a different stage, I'll advise you, or I'll suggest you, like, whether take it, leave it, or take it. But when you start speaking about any animal, like a cat, for example, right, in a little bit of a negative sense, you did try. I could see that there were a lot of efforts to not paint the cat in the negative light. But I would just say that be very careful with that stance. Maybe make sure that a cat does not land in a negative position, because when that happens, you will disconnect with half of your audience, or 40% of your audience who are cat lovers. For example, I'm not a cat lover, so the story worked out great for me because I was invested. I'm like, yeah, she's dissing cats, I'm all with you, girl. But had I been a cat lover, I would have been like, oh god, I don't want to listen to this, because you're painting gods as something, at least in the first half of your story. Though in the second half and in the message, you went on to say the complete opposite, that be a cat. But in the beginning, it didn't seem like it was going in that direction. So just be a little careful how you go about it. Second story, uh, again, the message landed really well, that master one unique skill, do it consistently. It was short, sweet, and perfect. Like, everything landed well. There were no suggestions in the story, too. And the second point, however, which you wanted to keep an eye out for humor, I felt humor was there, here and there, and bits and pieces, but it wasn't very, very, very strong. There's a lot of scope for humor in that, if you specifically want to keep the humor. But I felt like it was more like a motivational or a persuading or an inspiring story rather than an entertaining one. So, to summarize, you had a great beginning. You have checked all the boxes for eye contact, pauses, vocal variety. And what you can work on is to make sure that there isn't a disconnect with the audience because of one particular element or an entity that you would choose, for example, a cat, and you can work on integrating more humor into it. Thank you. Over to the general evaluator, Toastmaster Anshuman.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Kanchan. Now I'd like to hand over the stage to Toastmaster Ashutosh to share the feedback for Toastmaster Gaurav for the panel discussion.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anshuman. Toastmaster Gaurav, the panel discussion requires an active participation from all the participants in the discussion and eventually come to an agreeable submission, which can be taken away as the output of the panel discussion. So in today's panel discussion, Toastmaster Gaurav, I would like to congratulate you. You started on a very, I would say, relevant topic, and eventually with the discussions, questions, and personal, involvement and exchanging of ideas, stories. Eventually, there was an agreement that ethics is a most important part of our life, which you very rightly pointed and summarized towards end of the panel discussion. So overall, I would like to highlight the high points of the panel discussion, Toastmaster Anshuman. The topic, as I mentioned already, was very aptly selected. We had a lot of thought for during the discussion, and thought a lot of thought and takeaways for all the members of the meeting to introspect and inculcate the possible outputs or the possible good learnings from the meeting. And your involvement with the panelists, the participants were very good. It was very authentic to ask very genuine questions which involve the personal introspection. And when you did it rightly, Toastmaster Anshuman and Toastmaster, I remember the stories, sharing personal stories or personal experiences which are relevant for the purpose of this meeting, shared by Toastmaster Anshuman, and also the story he mentioned about the challenges he see during the conflicts management in the senior level Toastmasters meetings, over coming to an agreement between the clubs on some of the common agendas. And also, while Toastmaster Meenakshi highlighted her experience of running with a friend, and then some of the ideas regarding the ethics part of it. On the Although it was a good overall panel discussion, but the few areas I would like to challenge put you to challenge yourself in if it is to be planned in future. Number one is the opening part of the panel discussion, Toastmaster Gaurav. The opening could have been more intriguing or more engaging if you asked some generic questions to the audience which are not part of the panel discussion, and take some notes or some kind of dots from there to connect to the panelist, or invite panelists during that part, so that the other audience also would have been involved directly or indirectly, felt engaged. It was a longer discussion, longer time taking discussion. This could have been a possible way to have an extended connection, which I'm sure you can connect in the next time. And also the second suggestion, Toastmaster Gaurav, would be working on the voice modulation. I see that your voice was very firm and very confident, and we had a good body language as experienced from the online setup. But you could have brought in some voice modulation when you formed some of the common areas and which were of your interest or is excited you, like you when Toastmaster Anshuman was sharing some his experience of conflict management between the Toastmasters clubs. You could have made some kind of a voice change, that okay, acknowledge it in a different way. Okay, yes, 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 I found this is a problem, and we figure out a way to solve it. Maybe increase the pitch a little, or maybe bring some pauses which could have made it more impacting. And time management would also, I think the time also, it's a difficult as I say, but it is needed, even though I am exceeding some time. But because there was a long time available, so I think it was around 20 minutes which was planned, but eventually it went a little higher. So would have been around in 20 minutes. So that's it from my side, Toastmaster Gaurav. Overall, I would say you completed the objective of the project level 5, which was planned in this panel discussion, which involved conducting a panel discussion and testing your ability as a speaker and as a panelist in a group. So that's it from my side, and over to you, Toastmaster Anshuman.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Ashutosh, for the comprehensive evaluation. I'd like to next move on to the tag team, starting with Toastmaster Satyagate. So, Toastmaster Satyagate, if you want to come on the stage and present your language evaluator report.
Yeah, hi. Let me share my screen briefly. Before I share my screen, I would congratulate everyone that the meeting has largely been flawless in terms of the grammar and the good usages of the words. I hope my screen is
Yes,
visible.
but we can't see any content if you play. Yeah,
Yeah,
we can see it now.
there you go. Great, fantastic. Can you see the content right now?
We can.
Perfect. That sounds great. So, as you can see, that Toastmaster Anshuman has used a perfectly, I mean, a fantastic rhetorical device that when he was speaking on his first round during the panel discussion, run amok despite, I mean, during that panel discussion, run amok during when he was discussing about discipline. So that was a very good usage. And couple of pointers that each one of us can look up and rather improve on is, for example, a couple of filler words that has been used by Toastmaster Yashika. Um, so is her crutch word. And what I recommend to Toastmaster Ashutosh also to improve upon over the next couple of speeches is you can, when you're using adverbs, for example, aptly or rightly, uh, you can use it unless and like if it's very um, if you want to stress upon it. However, if you use it multiple times, it will create an extra, or rather, it will jargonize the entire statement because that will add up just the words and take up the time. And for my case, I think has been a couple of filler words. But rest of all, I want to congratulate each one of each one of us again that our uh, the meeting has been entirely flawless in terms of the grammar, pauses, and filler words. So congratulations. However, while parting, I would encourage each one of us to use the word of the day to enhance our vocabulary on a longer run. So with that, I hand over the virtual podium to General Evaluator Anshuman. Over to you.
Thanks a lot to Usman Satyagate for taking up that role at pretty much the last moment and doing such a great job of it. And as we come at the fag end of our meeting, I'd like to conclude with the overall report and the timer report. So, from a timing perspective, all of us were within time except, say, Toastmaster Ashutosh, who had a generous evaluation period, and I see like almost everyone has switched off their video, and Tosma Kancha has gladly, thankfully opened her video, but you're not obligated to Tosma Kancha, Tosma Ashutosh. But anyhow, from a meeting perspective, like as a run up to the meeting, I like the fact that Toastmaster Meenakshi took the initiative to come up with the PR idea to generate the poster. Toastmaster Kansha working on the meeting structure and the participants. Our club requires to have the cadence in a more disciplined fashion, and with the soon to be new EC being formed, hopefully that rigor and discipline will come where we know on Monday the rules will go out, on Tuesday first poster will go out, on Friday second poster will go out. That cadence, I hopefully the second AC will be able to build along with the membership challenge that we have. I think we have a good cadence going on now, and with the infusion of new participants, we'll have more comprehensive meetings going forward. In terms of Toastmaster Day, Toastmaster Sanskar took up a great idea, involved the audience, had a fun time doing the PO role and the Toastmaster Day role. Where Toastmaster Sanskar can challenge himself is on the structure of the team order role of when to introduce whom, what follows next, where I and maybe some of the club members will sync up with him to align on the structure beforehand if feasible. And coming to the tag rules, Toastmaster Satya, thanks a lot for taking up that role. At the last moment, you did complete justice to the capturing and sharing of the data. Toastmaster Meenakshi could not join at the beginning, so maybe the role players can be defined in a way so that whoever joins is taking up a role rather than nominating for role and not being able to perform that, so that we can have someone say as timer beforehand. Um, that's one. And in terms of evaluations, both Toastmaster Ashutosh and Toastmaster Kansha were quite comprehensive, gave appropriate feedback, and followed the our trademark CRC method. Both are pretty professional folks in terms of giving evaluations. I think Bright Wing Toastmasters were lucky to have both of them as evaluators. I'm sure all of us would have learned a lot from the evaluations. So overall, quite a productive meeting. Went a bit over time, not a bit. We do target it to end by 12. We are almost 23 minutes overboard because we had so much great content today. So hopefully it was a productive meeting for all of us. I'd like to conclude my evaluation report and hand it over to Toastmaster Sanskar to conclude the meeting.
Thank you
In
all.
the interest of time.
Okay, in the interest of time, thank you all of us for joining today and tuning in. Uh, Thank you for all of us for participating and sharing their stories. Uh, Everyone took quite a lesson from each of the stories, and I hope they improvise, they take it in and embed it in their lives and move forward with that. Having said that, I'd like to now ask from our guest today what was their opinion of our meeting today, or Toastmasters from other clubs. Toastmaster Yashika, please could you say something? Yeah.
Yeah, hi Toastmaster Sanskar. It was brilliant to witness Toastmaster Gaurav to conduct the panel discussion today, and amazing speech by Toastmaster Meenakshi, where she was narrating two set of stories she has conducted, and especially a cherry on top that Akanksha share her experience to go to the district level, how she prepared, and it was actually very insightful. And I personally feel that when I got the opportunity to be part of the leadership, I missed out on being a member. So now my focus is to become a member so that I can now work on the areas while supporting people who I can in my way, but also to work on the areas where I can be professionally proficient and become a good leader professionally as well, not just in Toastmasters. So I'm looking forward to that journey. Thank you, and it's a brilliant set of people I have we have around in this club. So I'm sure that I will get to learn from each and every one of you. Thank you.
We get to meet more of people from our club today. With that, thank you for sharing your thoughts, Toastmaster Yashika. Um, yeah, Toastmaster Satyakit, any opinion?
Yeah, I mean, so I've been frequently coming up with the meetings online specifically because I am not around. I'm in the eastern side. Basically, I'm in West Bengal right now. So, so to say, that is why it's the online forum that I am able to join. It's a fantastic I mean, team, and it's a fantastic meet that we always have. And I love the enthusiasm and the entire order in which the meet is conducted. So kudos, and look forward to continuing another being a part with the meetings in the future. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster. Okay. So, being the general evaluator for the general evaluator and saying one and the same thing just Anshuman said, we should be on time for the meetings. I noticed that I had only joined at 12:20. What was the time? 10:25. I was also late. We should join beforehand, like extra 15 minutes, give or so. So, in order to give out the roles and being proficient and efficient, just as Anshuman said. So as a presiding officer, one more thing. I like the thing where Toastmaster Anshuman kind of had gone rapid fire with Akansha, and I had actually quite forgotten about Akansha's story. So kudos to Toastmaster Anshuman and Toastmaster Akansha. With that, the meeting is adjourned.
Right. We can end the meeting with her theme song.
Oh.
Yeah. Ansuman and Akansha, can we stay here in this call after this meeting?
Empty stage where the sun's breaking. Feel the hesitation shaking, turning nervous energy to a flow that's captivating. Now we find our resonance, articulation's eloquence, a steady cadence, confidence in our bright beginning. Delivery's got that perfect punch, growing strong here as a bunch. Yeah, Toastmasters own the moment. Yeah, Toastmasters own the moment. Let's go!